Think that programming a hearing aid is easy? Well, think again. Hey guys, Cliff Olson, Doctor of Audiology and founder of Applied Hearing Solutions in Phoenix, Arizona, and in this video, I'm discussing a 6-step process to programming hearing aids to ensure that you can hear your absolute best. Okay, so a lot of people think that the setup and programming of a prescription hearing aid is relatively simple. And that is true if you really don't care about those hearing aids working that well. The fact of the matter is, a lot more goes into the programming of your hearing aids if you want those hearing aids to actually work well. After all, you could purchase the most amazing, most expensive hearing aids on the planet, but if those hearing aids are not programmed correctly, then you are not going to get the full amount of benefit from them. Hearing aids are a lot like other medical devices. Take pacemakers, for instance. Pacemakers literally make sure that your heart beats properly. Not only do you want to make sure that you have a high-quality pacemaker, but you have to make sure that it's the right type of pacemaker for the type of heart condition that you have. It has to be implanted in the proper location for proper functionality, and you probably want it implanted by a surgeon who actually knows what they're doing. Not to mention, after the pacemaker has been properly implanted, you need it properly set up, which means that you need the proper pacing thresholds and the proper rate response. Otherwise, you're going to have a really awesome pacemaker that doesn't work very well. Fortunately, the proper programming of a pair of hearing aids is not a life or death situation, but it will control whether or not you can actually hear better and maintain strong communication. Which is why it's really important that you understand this 6-step process to properly programming a pair of hearing aids. But before I do me a huge favor, click the like button. It really helps out the channel. And if you are not yet subscribed to the channel with notifications turned on, go ahead and do that as well. It is greatly appreciated. And a huge shout out to Signia for sponsoring today's video. Signia has become a trusted name in hearing care by consistently developing solutions that prioritize both performance and user experience. Their latest Signia iX platform is built to support the way real conversations happen, dynamic, unpredictable, and often in noisy environments. One of the standout features of the iX platform is real-time conversation enhancement, which continuously monitors and adjusts to multiple speakers in real time. So whether you're at a busy dinner or navigating group conversations, this feature helps you stay engaged without losing track of who's talking. Signia's augmented focus approach processes speech and background noise separately, making it easier to focus on the voices you want to hear while still staying aware of your surroundings. It's a practical solution for anyone who's ever struggled to follow a conversation in a noisy room. The iX line of devices also benefits from Signia's improved processing chip, which enables faster and more responsive sound adjustments. It even powers different features like Own Voice Processing 2.0, which can help reduce the sound of your own voice and make it sound more natural, something that many hearing aid users find challenging with new hearing aids. Alongside the popular Pure Charging Go iX, Signia has also introduced the new BCT iX. This hearing aid was designed for individuals who want more universal wireless connectivity using Bluetooth Classic. This is a great option for individuals who want to connect their hearing aids to more devices, such as a laptop or desktop computer. So if you're looking for a hearing aid that's responsive to your real-life conversation and wireless connectivity needs, the Signia iX series of hearing aids, including the new BCT iX, is definitely worth a closer look. Alright, so let's go ahead and get into the 6 steps of hearing aid programming. Step number 1 is the physical fit of your hearing aids. Now, this is a step that is often overlooked by hearing care professionals when it comes to programming a pair of hearing aids. What I mean by physical fit is whether or not your hearing aid goes entirely inside of your ear or if the hearing aid goes behind your ear. And if the hearing aid does go behind your ear, how does the receiver or speaker go into your ear canal? Is it going into your ear using a rubber dome, or are you using a custom ear mold with a custom vent size? To determine the proper physical fit of your hearing aids, it often depends on what your audiogram tells us. If you have normal hearing in the low frequency ranges that slopes to more of a mild or moderate high frequency hearing loss, typically a rubber dome on a receiver and canal hearing aid is appropriate. However, if you have more of a flat hearing loss, which means that you have hearing loss in the low, mid, and high frequency ranges, or a hearing loss that is more in the severe to profound ranges, either using a custom in-the-ear hearing aid or a behind-the-ear hearing aid with a custom ear mold is more appropriate. Not only does a rubber dome or custom ear mold have to be comfortable inside of your ear canal, but it has to be able to trap in the amount of amplification that you need at each frequency range of your hearing loss. And it has to do all of that without making your ears feel plugged. One of the best ways to make sure that you're on the right track with the physical fit of your hearing aids is to run a feedback manager. A feedback manager will create an internally generated sound from the hearing aid and measure how much of that sound is leaking out of your ears. If it identifies that you have too much leakage of sound outside of your ears, then you're going to have to change the rubber dome or change the vent size of the custom ear mold. But if it doesn't have enough leakage, it could lead to negative side effects such as insertion loss, which makes your ears feel plugged, or the occlusion effect, which makes your own voice boomy and loud to yourself. Of course, once you have identified that you have the correct physical fit of your hearing aids, you then need to move on to step number 2, which is the initial programming of the devices. This initial programming is something that we call manufacturer first fit, and it is an estimate for the amount of amplification that you would need based on your audiogram. While this initial programming is never perfect, it does get us into the ballpark of your prescription that we then need to verify using real ear measurement, which is step number 3. Real ear measurement is a verification technique where we place probe microphone tubes inside of your ear canals and measure the amount of amplification that your hearing aids are giving you when we present a calibrated signal to you. This is a critical step that is often overlooked by hearing care professionals, which is unfortunate because it significantly reduces your performance with your hearing aids. Studies have shown for decades that individuals who have had their hearing aid programming verified with real ear measurement significantly outperform individuals who have not had their hearing aids programmed using real ear measurement, and this includes both quiet environments and noisy environments. Of course, having your hearing aid amplification levels programmed precisely to your hearing loss prescriptive targets is just the beginning, because step number 4 is us customizing the audio as you adapt to your hearing aids. This usually requires increasing the amount of amplification you're receiving from your hearing aids to get you even closer to your prescriptive targets, and changing amplification levels of different frequency ranges based on the feedback that you're providing your hearing care professional. It is not uncommon for individuals to require significantly more or significantly less amplification at certain frequency ranges to optimize their overall hearing ability. Either way, this is why it's so critical for you to consistently go back for follow-up visits in the first 30 days of your hearing aid treatment so your hearing care professional can optimize the performance of your hearing aids as you acclimate to them. Then, as you get more used to the amplification levels of your hearing aids, you can move on to step number 5, which is optimizing the digital features of the hearing aid. This includes features that reduce impulse noises like when someone slams a door shut, or reducing steady-state background noises like the engine of your car. It could be features that control the directional microphones of your hearing aids so they can better isolate in on the direction of someone who's talking to you, or features that control the Bluetooth streaming capabilities of your hearing aids. It could even include setting up different programs inside of your hearing aids that you can use for different situations, or even giving you access to different wireless accessories, which could include remote microphones or TV streamers, depending on how much difficulty you're having even with your hearing aids that have been optimized. Then, once you've optimized the amplification levels, the digital features, and the wireless accessories of your hearing aids, you're ready to move on to step number 6, which is performing a validation outcome measure of your subjective performance. Now, there are several different types of validation outcome measures that can be used to identify exactly how much benefit you've received from your hearing aids, but several of them include the Client-Oriented Scale of Improvement, or COSI, the Abbreviated Profile of Hearing Aid Benefit, or AFAB, and the International Outcome Inventory for Hearing Aids, or IOI-HA. If you've received a significant amount of benefit from your hearing aids, one of these outcome assessments will be able to identify how much. If no benefit has been identified, then either something has gone completely wrong with your hearing aid treatment, or you're just wearing the wrong hearing aids. And there you go. Those are the 6 steps to properly program a pair of hearing aids. As you can see, there is a lot more that goes into programming a pair of prescription hearing aids than just putting the hearing aids in your ears and hitting the auto program button. But if your hearing care professional follows these 6 steps when they're programming your hearing aids for you, I have no doubt in my mind that you'll be hearing your absolute best in no time.